All right, today is an exciting day because we're finally done with all the prep, which means we can start painting. So we're going with a limousine leather from Behr paint and primer. We're going to be actually spraying probably 99% of the garage, so that should be a pretty quick process. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I've got some masking to do, and then I'll go edge everything and we'll get into spraying. Alright, so what I learned after spraying my first section here, that sprayer is actually pretty gnarly. The overspray is quite hefty, a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So what I'm going to do is roll everything above the garage here, because I don't want to get any overspray on the garage door. I'll also probably roll this wall and then probably over there as well, because like I said, that spray, the overspray is pretty nuts, so I don't really want to clean up a bunch of overspray off the garage doors and stuff. So it's very helpful. I do like the sprayer. It's pretty sweet, covers pretty well, but it's a little bit more powerful than I thought it was going to be. We're just going to roll this and then get it out, you know, I don't know, maybe out here somewhere, and then we'll spray the rest. But yeah, that's the plan for now, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, I got a little carried away, but it's for the better. So I was going through and I was doing, just rolling around above the garage here and the ceiling out a little bit so that I can start spraying. But then as I started spraying, I quickly realized how inaccurate I can be with the sprayer. And I mean, that stuff just gets everywhere. So I decided to just roll out all the way past the garage hardware, so then I can turn this way and shoot that way, and then the overspray won't be so bad onto things that I don't want it to be on. So this is where we're gonna start spraying the ceiling that way, and then obviously get into the walls and stuff after that. But for now, I have to take a break. Gotta go get my hair cut, get some lunch, and then we'll come back and probably finish up this 2 carbe, because I think once I start spraying, it's gonna go pretty quick. I hope. We'll see when I get back what spraying's like, and then it'll be about an hour and a half for me, but just a few seconds for you. And like I said, the overspray from the spray gun was pretty crazy, so when you're spraying on the ceiling like this, it splashes back in your face and gets in your eyes. So I did what any sensible human would do. I found an old pair of Scott Prospect goggles and threw them on my eyes, and that seemed to solve that problem. So we got the 2 carbe done completely, I think. Well, minus some touch-ups maybe that are going to come after this. But now we're on to the 1 carbe, which didn't take nearly as much time. I got the garage door nice and wrapped in plastic, so I can just spray away. Don't have to worry about that. Also got my breaker panel wrapped in plastic as well. Outlets wrapped or masked, so I can pretty much just spray away at this. And that's exactly what I did. The process was pretty fast and simple. I was getting pretty good with the spray gun and was getting a little bit more accurate with it now, and I learned how it worked. So this is what we were looking like after I finished up a couple of touch-ups. I was running out of daylight again, so film is a little bit grainy. And this is how it looked all dry. Of course, the sun was pretty much down, so you can't see too much. And it was very dark in the garage. I didn't realize how much the paint would make a difference, but it really did. All right, the last part of painting of the time lapse for the paint was cut a little short because I ran out of daylight and the lights in here aren't very strong, as you can tell. So it is dark in here and the footage was not looking very good. So this is it. It's done. painting, it was pretty nice with this paint sprayer. I gotta say, I would recommend if anybody's gonna be painting really any amount of wall space, I would recommend it. However, you do have to be very conscious of the overspray because it does get everywhere. So next, we're gonna move on to some lighting because it is dull in here, and the first lighting I'm gonna put up is above the one car bay where the camera is right now, because I mean, there just needs to be light in here. It's way too dark. And we're going with the hex lighting. If you're anybody who watches garage builds, you've seen these everywhere. Unfortunately, they're just too good of a deal for me to pass up, especially with how much lighting I need in here. I made an effort to actually go out of my way a little bit to look for a different type of lighting, and I definitely could have made something work, but with the electrical that I have running here already, this was the best option for the price and for as much lighting as I needed and for as much space as I needed. We're running with it. So I'm sorry if that's boring, and it kind of is. I'm even disappointed that I had to go with it, but it's gonna look good. It's a good price and it's gonna do what I need it to. So we're gonna get that going. Time lapse is probably gonna be a little bit short on that as well. There's probably not gonna be a lot of footage of this one because it is so dull in here and everything looks like crap. So we gotta get this lighting up before any decent filming can take place. I even have a lamp from inside set up pointed at me right now so that you can even just see me because it's dark. And also the ISO on that is cranked up. So you're probably seeing a lot of grain, but enough yapping, let's get right into it. So I went ahead and laid these out on the floor, at least to get the width of the lights and to see if they were gonna fit in the bay that I have here. And of course, they worked out perfectly, and I couldn't be happier with the dimensions that it ended up being because it fits perfect in this little area here that you're seeing with this time lapse. And on the reveal, you'll see how it looks, but it almost looks like it was made for this space, and it turned out perfect. All right, the camera SD card ran out during my time lapse, so we're doing the final reveal from my phone. You can probably already tell how much brighter it is in the garage. This is what we had before, and this is what we got now. Looking pretty sweet. Fit in here pretty good. Only a little bit of overlap over the attic, but you know, if somebody's too big to fit in there, they're probably not getting into an attic anyway, but you know, it is what it is. Got the lights powered through the socket, so it works with the light switch. And then of course, they're only in the back half of the garage. And of course that's done on purpose because when the garage is open, it's gonna cover up everything up here, but I still may get maybe like a shop light that goes, or maybe 2 shop lights that go over here that I could also light the front half of the garage with, or I may just get another small hex light and throw another one up there. But this is what we're looking like now. Can't wait to get everything going, but it's looking pretty sweet. And once again, without revealing too much, and also again from the future, I am filming the outro for this episode. This keeps happening because I just don't really know where these episodes are gonna end, but all you need to know is that that's the end of this one. Subscribe and like the video to see the next one where we get into the really cool and the really fun stuff, and it turns out really good. So I'll see you then.